It has an orthopedic curve to protect your neck. It's a side sleeper pillow that allows you to sleep either on your back or on your side. And it has a Coolmax fabric to whisk away perspiration that's common with sleep disorders. And it has these X-bands that help, these patented X-bands, which help manage the tubing. When I was diagnosed with sleep apnea, they prescribed a CPAP treatment for sleep apnea. And there's a lot of stuff to contend with, cord length. The manufacturers want you to sleep on your back. And every time I slept on my, I'm a side sleeper, so every time I turned over on my side, they pillow pushed my mask off. So after 2 weeks of no sleep, I thought I was absolutely going to lose my mind. I really hit rock bottom, almost psychotic. And I woke up, threw my mask across the room, and was cussing, and went in the kitchen, grabbed the largest knife I could find, and started carving up my memory foam pillow to get some relief. And that's how this whole thing started. So it helped me, so I figured it would help other people as well. So I entered it into the Henry Bode Award competition in Louisville. It's a very prestigious award competition. And I was one of 5 winners. I won $15,000. So that's what got me on this journey. So, so that led to, I won a $30,000 grant from the state. I won about $50,000 in export grants with the Kentucky Export Initiative. I placed 3rd place in the Louisville Innovation Summit, which is my neck guard product, which I'm going to show you here in a second. And then we had a face-to-face meeting in 2019 with the Food and Drug Administration. Went to Maryland and actually had a sit-down meeting with them. So, so that's what started this path. The second product I had created is a product called Neck Guard. And this is a new ergonomic device that's created for any trade that performs overhead work. Painters, plumbers, electricians, drywall installers. So the problem is every year there's approximately 209,000 work-related injuries affecting the neck, and this is from NIOSH. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average number of days off for sprains, strains, and tears was 26.6 days. And these numbers don't include self-employed workers, private households, farms, or government employees. So clearly, the neck injuries are significant in terms of health and economic reasons. So when other expenses are considered, like lost wages, the cost of rehabilitating affected workers, lost production, cost of recruiting and training new workers, the cost to the United States economy in 2022 is estimated to be about $13 billion annually. It's actually probably double this since this doesn't include the farms and everything else. So in 1997, there was a landmark piece of research done called Musculoskeletal Disorders in the Workplace. And this study took 40 different studies and analyzed them, and they were trying to find out, because everybody was measuring different things, to try to get a standard to establish what risk factors were established. So a lot of what we've been talking about is taken from this article. So if you can see the screen, this is the cervical region of the neck. This is the thoracic spine. And there's some, we're going to be dealing with extensor injuries that are involved in extending the neck above your head. So the sternocleidomastoid muscle is right here. It's the largest muscle in your neck. It's responsible for supporting the, raising the head backwards and for turning the head left and right. There's the splenius capitis muscle that supports a lot of the weight when your head is, when your neck is flexed. It's in the back of your neck. And then the largest muscle everybody's probably familiar with is the trapezius, and it covers C1 to T12. So it covers the whole neck and the whole back. So overuse of this muscle, because it is so large, results in both neck and shoulder pain as well. So if you see the screen, these are the collected muscles of the neck and upper back. So there's 4 primary risk factors associated with overhead work. There's static contraction, which is exertion from holding the same position over an extended period of time. There's forceful exertion, which is excessive hand or arm movements, which generate force loads to the neck and shoulder area. There's prolonged static loads, which is a combination of both of these, and extreme working posture. It's a position outside the body's optimal range. There's other factors. These are secondary factors. Repetitive work in and of itself is not a problem. It's when it's combined with one of these other factors it becomes. It's repetitive work is a secondary factor. Smoking, if you're a smoker, you're not only jeopardizes your lung health, but your neck health as well, oddly enough. Just had a meeting this week with a neurosurgeon that I consult with, and all of his patients in Louisville are from the Louisville Assembly Plant and Ford Motor Company, and painters. And for some reason, they all smoke, and for some reason, all of this is related to their condition. So it's very detrimental. Smoking is very detrimental to, and is prone to neck injury when working. Vibration is insufficient data regarding vibration, and age and gender were considered confounding factors. Men, no surprisingly, got hurt more often than women, and younger men got hurt more often than older men. Interesting that older men seem to know their limits, and they have nothing to prove, which is why they're hurt less. But however, when they do get hurt, the injuries are often debilitating and can lead to an end of their career. So the ergonomic process flow is to identify the hazard, identify work policies like risk of injuries, symptoms, prevention of treatment, and then assign a personal protective equipment. So if you can see the screen, the two most riskiest jobs are overhead drilling, like concrete drilling, and all four risk factors are present. OSHA recommends using an inverted drill press, which takes away two of the factors, but the worker's still looking up for an extended period of time watching the work. The other one is drywall installation, and we probably all hired this guy at one time. All four risk factors are present. The OSHA recommendations to use a drywall lift, but that only takes care of two of the four factors. Additional protection is needed. So Michelangelo is kind of our company spokesperson. He's kind of the poster boy for overhead work. And there's a doodle of him reaching above his head, painting. And he wrote this letter to his friend, begging him to get out and work, working on the Sistine Chapel. So he talks about, it's a grievance list, the letter's a grievance list of all the symptoms and pains that he's got. He talks about his brushes above him all the time. He's looking at the ceiling. His beard points to heaven like a finger. He says he feels the brain upon the back of his neck. His spine is all knotted up like from folding over in itself. He's bent and taut as a Syrian bow. And because of this, when his thoughts are expressed, they come out weird and jumbled. So the pain is affecting his thought process in his personal life. And the greatest painter of all time says that, the painting is dead. He's not in the right place, or he's not a painter. So if you can see the screen, this was my Michelangelo moment. We had a job from working for Sue Grafton. It was a ceiling panel with 275 panels, and we gold leafed this thing. We touched this ceiling at least 10 times. We had to paint it, tape it, apply adhesive, apply the leaf, apply the urethane, and then we had to antique the whole thing down. And it took about 6 weeks, and we were all completely miserable working on this job. So this is what got me thinking about this. I needed something to protect my neck, but there was really nothing on the market. So I created this product called Neck Guard. And basically, it fits behind your neck, it clips onto your pants. Either your belt or your pants. You adjust the tension with these straps here, and they stow away. And but it gives you a nice, comfortable place to rest your neck and work overhead without damaging your neck. We just remodeled this, our top floor of our house, and I can tell you this thing is a lifesaver. If If you do have extreme movements, I've got some elastic that's built into the waistband. This is my design. So if you engage your lumbar area, you're not in a posture where you're going to hurt yourself, and it's not going to put any undue tension on your neck. So neck guard works because there's two double bows, two vertical bows here, and two horizontal bows as well. So when you lean into this thing and the vertical bows compress, the horizontal, when they compress downward, the horizontal bows compress inward. So the support load is directed inward and radially. And this design also, because it's this mesh, it provides superior cooling. So we have two versions available, a contractor version for painters, plumbers, electricians, and then we have one that's rated, the ARC rated for the electrical utility workers. So we have three other products in our competitive landscape. Two are American made, one is Australian. The two American are, they're cumbersome with the straps. They have the old alligator clips like your grandpa wore. They clipped on your pants, so they destroy your clothing after a period of time. And they're just difficult to use. They've had very, very limited success and market penetration. They all three share the same design flaw. Mainly, it's a rigid support with a thin layer of compressive material. So to get to the position you need to work, you actually have to resist the device, which defeats the whole purpose of creating it in the first place. The contact areas are useless when you rotate your head, and none of these are fire retardant. So we tested these other products against the splenius capitis muscle in the University of Louisville ergonomics lab, and we were both surprised and elated. We had up to a 33% reduction in muscle activity over our competitor products. So our target market again is ceiling tile installers, electricians, mechanics, painters, plumbers, any do-it-yourself workers. And oddly enough, the electrical utility industry opened up a whole new niche for us, and we've actually got a lot of product traction with that. We have like at least 5 or 6 utility companies that are interested in our product, and we're coming out with this ARC-rated version. These guys take 10 years to train on the job, and the worst position on the crew is the guy on the ground that's looking up, conducting everything above like an orchestra leader, making sure these guys don't get electrocuted. But they're looking up for 8 hours a day. And we met so many guys at the Utility Expo in Louisville, the largest utility expo trade show in the country. And we met so many guys that had 2 and 3 surgeries on their neck, and some couldn't even do their job anymore. They had to retire. So we took it out, all the linemen said, you've got to take this neck guard out. It's a great product. You've got to take it out to the linemen's rodeo out in Kansas City. So we made the trip out there the following week, and this is a competition between electrical companies. There's a park that they compete in. It's nothing but telephone poles. There's like 60 telephone poles, and these guys are working just for bragging rights to see who can do their job the best in the practice. So we were walking around with these neck guards, and everybody was stopping us, asking us where we got this thing, because it's so desperately needed in this industry.